still there, and Europe never gives promises but never deliver it to Turkey. And Turkey now is, 3 million refugees in Turkey. But this is a big problem and big issue for Turkey, and most of them want to go to European countries, especially Germany, and Turkey is now banning them to go to European countries via Bulgaria and Greece, and they have to pay for that. The Syria issue is not just for Turkey issue, and all Europe and United States, and they should do something for Turkey. Otherwise, it is very difficult to carry on to help them in Turkey, and maybe they couldn't make them in Turkey and then open up the way for Europe, and it will be, disaster for Europe, and they are already complaining about Turkish citizens there and Arabs and Muslims there. But if more Syrians come, what do they do? It is difficult for politicians, and also they are saying that this is the cradle of democracy is Europe, and freedom of speech is very important, but they don't give any opportunity to Turkish politicians to speak to their citizens for a referendum.
Germany has said, though, that it hasn't seen any signs of the deal being suspended. How close do you think we are to the end of the deal?
I think it's related to, I think we are waiting a referendum, and after referendum, I think, Turkey will decide whether it will, close up all the things to Europe or not. I think the Turkish politicians are waiting for the referendum. Before referendum, I do not accept. I do not think that Turkey changed the policy towards Europe. But after the referendum, we can wait some more, change in Turkish policy towards Europe, especially Syrian refugees.
If it was to scrap the migrant deal with the EU, it could cost Turkey something itself, couldn't it? Wouldn't that mean the end of visa-free travel for Turkish people in Europe?
Actually, we haven't got, this is maybe 30, 40 years promise from Europe. Even I have myself as a professor, a very special passport, but I cannot go some countries. Even my, situation is totally different from other Turkish citizens. But normal citizens never go to Europe. But this is according to European Union law, which should have given to Turkey 10 years ago. Anyway, we can say that the new deal is 1 year ago about the Syrian refugees. Turkey did everything for them and now stopped the flowing refugees via Greece to Europe, but even cannot get money already promised to Turkey, and also visa lift is still there, and I think is now Turkish-European relations are collapsing.
And how do you feel about the war of words that has surrounded this spat? President Erdogan said some pretty stern things, and also the German Interior Minister has recently claimed that Turkey's playing the role of victim. Do you think that the words have gone too far?
Actually, Turkey is already a victim of the Syrian war, as I think that 3 million refugees in Turkey now, and Europeans, when they do lottery for 5,000 people, and especially very well educated Syrians to get to Europe, and they are waiting for that Nobel Peace Prize for 5,000 Syrian refugees. But think about the 3 million Syrian refugees in Turkey and how it is difficult for Turkey. But Western civilized world never helped to Turkey. Syria is not just for Turkey or issue of Turkey, and also problem of Europe, because most of Syrians, if the gates are open up, will go to or flow to European countries, and we saw it before, especially in Hungary and Bulgaria, in Greece. They all suffered there, but even in Turkey, 3 million refugees, they are not suffering because Turkey helped them, and also Turkish people very generous to them.